Let's go. Let's go. Higher and higher. You then feel me with holy fire. Everybody sing along. Higher.
Hello and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships. Yay! Today is the grand finale of Love with a Stranger. Okay, so it's been wonderful, but before I go any further, I have to let you know. My name is Anete Batures, and I'm the host of Common Sense for Relationships live show. Yes, I'm an author, the author of Husband Material, the book and the workbook. Please note, the book and the workbook. It's a practical guide to help you find the love of your life. I'm also a singer, a songwriter, yes, a full-time practicing engineer, yes, and the wife of one man and the mother to 3 children. And speaking of the man, we've been married for 17 years and counting, and I'm quite excited about that. And he's with me in the studio today. Please welcome my darling husband and co-host, Kingsley Batures.
Hello. Yes, I'm the man. Yes, now, yeah, so you have introduced yourself. Let me introduce myself. And yes, like she said, I'm Kingsley Batures, husband to one wife, and she's female. Full-blooded woman. Yes, and yeah. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me? That's why I just focus on the camera. I didn't want to look sideways so that you'll not be looking at me anyhow. Anyway, yes. And yeah, I'm a licensed family life practitioner and a full-time businessman, full-time coach, full-time daddy. In fact, full-time pastor. In fact, I'm full-time plenty things. I'm full-time human being. Yes, exactly. So, and you can catch me on Instagram, Facebook. Yes. Yeah, my handle is at Coach KGB. At Coach KGB. Yeah, so you can catch me there online. She didn't tell you her own. Her own is at Anete Batures.
Yes.
So that's what husbands do. We look out for. That's the thing. When you become a husband, you have to be looking out for the
well-being of your wife, the interest of your wife, the things that she's supposed to do that she forgot to do. You help her do it.
That's what got me into trouble last 2 weeks ago.
What happened?
Where then dragged me tire when I was trying to say we are defending. As men, we have to defend women, or we have to work hard for women. Then drag me tire for Facebook.
Have you recovered?
No. I recovered that week because as you are dragging me, I am giving you your own. Yes, it's bass.
Yes,
it's bass for a reason. It means that when somebody gives you bad, you must have boast to respond.
Yeah, and speaking of that whole dragging experience, for me, something that really stood out is people's inability to have or to handle difficult conversations, right? It's almost like once somebody sees that you're saying something that they don't agree with, instead of them to come with superior arguments or at least come and engage, they just start with abuse and stuff like that. I don't understand that. So is that what you do when you get married? So like if you actually plan to at some point in your life get married, or even if you don't get married, when you are working in a team with other people, you're running your own business, or you're working in an office, somebody says something you don't agree with and you start by abusing them, what happened to civil conversations? What happened to let me hear your view? Okay, I've heard, this is what I think, and then you people have an exchange of ideas until you kind of align or you agree to disagree. I mean, why do you have to do all the calling names? I don't understand that anyway. It's not good practice. So I think people need to learn how to communicate, because you won't always have people on the same page with you. You won't always have people who agree
with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
People are entitled to their opinions. If it's different from yours, okay, let's communicate, let's engage. That's all part of it. But that whole you say something I don't like, I call you names. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't solve the problem.
If you
It's
if
not
they
even
say
a mature thing to
if
do.
you say something,
Yeah.
if someone says something you don't like, say your own opinion.
Yeah.
Say what you have to say. You don't have to get no. I know people that on their platforms, if you call them names, they just block you because it's their platform. But
Yeah.
I'm a very magnanimous guy. So I will leave you because I understand that you're coming, because the truth is a lot of people spoke from their place of pain. So I could hear the guys loud. So I could hear them loud. So I can relate. It's okay. It's okay.
Interesting. Anyway,
Mm.
so grand finale
Mhm.
of In Love with a Stranger. I mean, it's
This
been quite an interesting series, right?
this series has been interesting. Really. It has been one that I found revealing, because we went into places that some people were uncomfortable and some people were
And there was a
yeah.
lot of real talk, as in,
Yes.
and a lot of sharing personal experiences, personal views on different subjects, just addressing it. And of course, we had the pleasure of having KJ and Yoma in the
And
studio with
Yoma,
us,
yeah.
just bringing the perspective of much younger people. And yeah, it was good to engage and just let's hear each other, let's hear one another, let's get into the details of how it is biting each group.
Yeah,
Right.
and that reality brings a lot to light. Sometimes there's a way you feel like you're talking about issues without talking to the reality of the people who are going through the issues.
Yeah.
Right. So I recognize that, and I want to thank KJ and Yoma for how instrumental they were in bringing these conversations. And of course, you guys are going to see them a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to see them
Yeah,
a bit more.
it would be great to see some of the comments, and use the opportunity to welcome everyone who has joined us, who's online with us. We are so happy to have you with us on the show at this time. And for everyone who will join later, thank you for taking time to catch up, taking time to watch and gain value. You know that on this show, we bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your lives and in your relationships. So, Debbie, you are welcome.
And
Dara Benny, you are welcome. Debbie says, good evening. And then she says,
Henry, I don't help you sweep the place. So she said, I don't sweep the place. They wait for you, Henry.
yes, because they've been dragging another matter on our community on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Yeah, and for those that do not know, we do have a community of young people. And yeah, we share life issues, we talk on relationship, and we also do mentoring. So if you're watching this and you would like to be part of the community, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this after the show, you can leave a comment. We'll show you how to get into this community of young people dealing with the real issues that young people go through.
yeah. Dara Benny says, good evening. Chinedu, I see you. Chinedu says, good evening, PKGB. Yes, so Chinedu, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us today. So please, everyone, as usual, we need active participation. So share your thoughts, share your views. If you have any question from any of the episodes we've had in this series, feel free to drop those questions. We love questions here, especially the complex ones.
Complex, complicated complexities.
This guy just like speaking English. So yes, bring it on. Let's tackle all of those issues. Yeah. So
I was just trying to respond to some prompts that they are prompting in this place. Is the show is on? That's why the show is on, and we are going to have those conversations. So you don't be asking me questions here. Go and ask the questions on the
yes,
show.
Yes, you can ask on behalf of a friend.
Yes,
you don't want it to be that is you that is
exactly. So just
ask on behalf of someone you know.
Go online and ask for a friend. We won't say it's you that is asking, but when you are coming to ask me here, you want me to talk on your behalf.
Yeah, and I think something that really stood out is just seeing the different views. the ladies will speak so strongly about this is women do this, this is what we think, and then the guys are always, and then the guys will now come and say their own. So something that was so clear was the fact that, hey, if you are not careful, you will just label people and just conclude that that's it. All men are this, all ladies are this, all ladies are looking for money.
That
All men-
the ladies that understand are finished.
Yeah. So you have to really be careful, because in the midst of that generalization, you will find some people that are saying, excuse me, what are you talking about? Which women are you referring to? Where did you find this group of women that you describe like this? Because the women I know don't do that, or the ones I have encountered aren't like that, And you just, so please, as you're interacting with people, as you're getting to know people, don't be quick to label people. Don't be quick to say they are all like that, and so you treat. And you, with the labeling comes your response. So you see an innocent young man who has not done anything to offend you, but just because the last person you encountered treated you a certain way, you will transfer that aggression to this innocent person.
Promising young man.
Yeah. So it really, and you could, in doing so, you could actually spoil your chances of encountering and getting to know a good person. Especially if you're on that journey to finding the love of your life. You can't just be, all of them are label, and then discredit, disregard, overlook, shut the door. I don't want to have anything to do with them. They're all like that. No, that's not wise.
Yeah.
It is wisdom to give people a fair hearing. I mean, it's the same thing in different settings, maybe in a group at work, or in a group or a unit in church or somewhere where you interact with people. If you go in and people start telling you, this person is like that, that person is like that, and they start telling you, these are the bad actors in the team, and you go in with that impression, you just start off on a very wrong note. Yes, hear them, okay, I hear you, but allow the people the opportunity to show you who they are, rather than you labeling them, and then you find out maybe there was some personal beef or some issue that this person used to conclude and label these other people, and you carry on that label. No, you have to give people a fair chance, right?
Yeah. So I hear you. I think everybody deserves that fair chance. And bottom line, I would look at it this way: a lot of guys had a lot to say, okay, and a lot of the things they said through the different series, because this In Love with a Stranger series, the In Love with a Stranger series had different episodes. We had 4 different episodes. This is just the finale. We had the red flags and idiot lights, and all of the links are in the description of this video. You can visit the other episodes and see a lot of the conversations that we had. We had red flags and idiot lights, talking about obvious red flags that people notice in relationships, but because you are either married, you clouded, or you are just lovina is worrying you, all of you ignore them. And as a relationship coach, I've had people walk into our office and they will say a lot of things, about this guy was like this guy, and all these things. And one of the questions I will ask is, was he always like this? Was he like this from the beginning? And then you will now hear, it was not this bad.
Yeah.
Did he day? If he did, he did there. You understand? And then when you get married, the day go balance well. Now, my point is, we always have to pay attention to red flags. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Another thing that came out from the red flags and idiot lights is the fact that sometimes some people do not even know what is a red flag. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some people do not know what is a red flag, and they are the things that they label red flags are probably things that they've seen. If something they've seen on social media, so they've been educated in a way to say, oh, if he's not giving me money, it's a red flag. No,
It's more like general opinion. Red
yes,
flag.
yes. If he's not giving me money, if he's not giving you money, it's a red flag.
Yeah,
you know?
and I think that's another thing that we took time to discuss on this series. The fact that you need to define a number of these things for yourself. So it's not who is a good guy general. This is what everybody's saying I should look for, and then you work with that. But no, first of all, who are you? Excuse me, who are you? And what is your life about? Where are you going? What are your dreams and visions, aspirations, all of that? And then based on all of this, right, who is the kind of person that you need? And what can you not have in a life partner for the kind of person that you are? So those were really important points to know, because if you don't do that, then you're just going to say, oh, everybody says this. And so you follow everybody to say, no, my husband must be like this, must be like that, must have this, must do that. Meanwhile, you actually really don't need that.
You don't need that. Your relationship doesn't need that. So it's that people have to get off the bandwagon, right, and get into a specific wagon in your relationship, because you are in that relationship with one other person, not with the general public, right? And those are some of the things we painted. You know, on the other series we talked about loving a stranger, in love with a stranger, about the fact that this was connected to the red light, about the fact that people see things and they love the things about the person without actually getting to know the person.
Yeah, so it's more of the superficial.
Yes.
So you're busy paying attention to superficial stuff. Meanwhile, the real issues that will affect your union, you do not pay attention to. So, for instance, earlier today we were talking about, you know, one of our kids has gotten to that stage where he now needs his father. Do you understand? So all of a sudden, he's moved from that being on mommy mode, where mommy is the perfect person, mommy is the perfect parent, mommy is the person to go to for advice and help and all of that. He's in the stage where it is his father that he goes to, right? Just thinking to myself, so if I married one useless man, in quotes, because I was thinking to myself that I will be able to handle it, you know, at least I am wise, or I am smart, or I am this, you know, giving myself the credit for I will be able to handle it. By the time the boy realizes that I need my father at this time, he would now go to the useless man. Just imagine what I'm saying. And you would now start worrying over the fact that he's not getting the right counsel, he doesn't have the right kind of role model, and so on. So really, when you are getting married, when you're considering a life partner, it's not just for yourself. If you plan to have children, you also have to think of that person being the right or the suitable parent for your child. So it has to be selfish and selfish at the same time. Because selfish, you're thinking about yourself, right? Like, who's right for me? But at the same time, selfless, because you also have to think about who's right for the people that will be coming into this union.
So it's a bit more like you are not marrying for the present. You are marrying also with the future in mind.
Yes,
you
for
understand?
the present alone, for the future in mind.
You're
so it's present continuous.
It's a present continuous
commitment. So really, you have to think of who is the right person for me, who's the right person for my children, because you can't just say, oh, just me. I'll sort out the children when they come. This person is also going to have a say in how those children turn out. So you have to factor all of those in.
So those are the things that we dealt in loving a stranger. That episode is also there. You can go back and look at it. And from there, we moved to the next series, which is Be a Friend or Be a Stranger, where we're dealing with friendships.
Yeah.
How friendship matters.
Yeah.
Right?
I watched speaking of friendship, I watched a movie this morning That was to love or kabash by Omoni Oboli.
It's Omoni Oboli.
Yeah, it was
written
quite
by Dr. Nnenna.
yeah,
Okay,
Ochije.
Ochije.
It was quite
Big ups to you, sis.
yes, it was quite interesting. And I think the part I want to highlight is where the lady was like, oh, but he's just a friend, like he's just a friend. And the woman was like, please, oh, help me. Are you going to marry an enemy? Do you understand? So,
Well, to all those sisters that have put promising brothers in friend zone. Listen, you have put promising brothers in friend zone, and you'll be saying, I can't find the people I'm seeing, I can't see the people I'm finding. Whatever it is, you have put promising brothers in friend zone. Is it enemy you want to marry?
yeah.
So you say it's just a friend. It's just a friend. My sister, if you want to get married, look again at the friends, and see whether the friends have what you are looking for before you go and follow enemy. Or go and follow stranger,
because it makes life easier. And this concept of friendship, some people say, oh, but not all of us have the opportunity to be friends before we get married or something of that sort. But the fact is, even if you never knew this person, and then maybe you're just walking on the streets, your biro fell, you bent to pick it up, and when you just lifted up your head, you found this wonderful looking amazing man that is like, wow, I've never seen somebody so fine in my entire life. Even if that is the case, you still need to build friendship in that relationship. If you end up getting married, you still need to build friendship in that marriage, because it is necessary, right? It's necessary. So friendship is something everybody needs to work on, pay attention to, and give the necessary time and effort to make sure that friendship thrives in your relationship and in your marriage, because it's going to be so important. I was saying the other day that if you leave my husband and I, take the TV away, take the phone away, leave us alone, we will still have plenty gist to gist. By the time we finish the event, gist will still be manufactured, because somehow, and peradventure gist finishes, we are very comfortable in the quietness and the peace.
He also mentioned that even when gist finished, some people will just from somewhere just be looking for reasons to annoy you. That one too generate gist. they are not. We're not calling names. We're not calling names. Those people know themselves.
Yeah, but anyway, friendship is very important. Yes, because you are going to be together for a long time, so you better be friends. Yes. Okay. So we have a few comments that have come in. Why are you laughing? Yes, you are enjoying the comments without me.
No, please. Yoma said, team brother zoners. all those sisters that can zone, they can put brothers in friend zone, and he's just a friend. That's how this young lady I know, I'm pointing my hand in a direction. I don't know what my hand is not pointing in a direction I'm pointing. But this lady that I know, she married a friend. She was saying, my friend is my friend. 17 years later, we are still friends. You understand? As in, we are married friends. But I was a friend. And then I became a friend that stick closer to
but the good thing about that friendship was I didn't friend zone you.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's thanks to very good advice from my darling mother, who said, it's one of your friends you're going to marry.
So all of these sisters that have put brothers in friend zone, please, can you remove the zone and look at the brothers with another eye? Because there may be a man in there. You understand? That is the man you are looking for. So remove the zone and let brothers breathe. Brothers, you people will not come and talk now. I'm talking for you. It's only when I talk for the ladies, they will drag me up and down.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yuma says, now I myself, I go love. Yes.
Jennifer, say allow us zone. No. Jennifer, you need to come and tell us why this zoning must be allowed. Because I'm not saying don't zone, no, but when you zone, check the person inside the zone. There may be something that you are missing out because you have put zone inside there. Do you understand?
Yeah. It's important. Yeah.
So the other thing, if I know. Yoma said PK3 bullet. Oh.
I know.
Don't worry.
There is not today.
No, but really, if you guys want to call in on the show, because what we're just doing is, running through and then picking up issues from the different episodes on this one, so that we can finalize in this finale. So if you want to call into the show and air your opinion, the team will drop a link in the comment section, so you can just click on the link and it will bring you. You will be able to call in live on the show. You understand? Yoma, you know me now. I'm always throwing bullets up and down. It's part of the catch. In fact, it's even probably one of the reasons why she said yes. Do you understand? Let's not go there. Let's not that look on your
I'm
face.
thinking about it now.
Let's not go there.
Why
not go
she
there.
said
No,
yes.
but remember, back in the day, we were always on the opposite sides of.
No, that was when you, as far as I'm concerned, you intentionally decided to always be on the opposite
No,
side.
it was not intentional. It was
And
not
if
intentional.
I was like some people now, I would have said that we don't agree. Me and you, we don't agree at all. But I was able to see through your facade. I was able to see through your drama.
But you know that back then, there was one time when your house, Razi was there, when your house, where I was sitting down near that chair, the chair by the door, when you're coming in, when you were talking about some of the features of the guy you want to marry, and I now said, what if it was me? And the way you laughed, if not that the grace of God was upon me, my liver would have caught.
Yeah.
The way you laughed me to scorn that day, I was like,
this to scorn part that you have added.
wait,
now.
no,
There was no scorn inside
you
that
laughed.
laughter.
No, you laughed your wholehearted laugh as you usually laugh.
Yes, because it was a very.
But there was a scorn. There was a brother feeling scorn.
Sorry.
Because see, guys, the way she laughed at me, it's like, damn, like, bro, rich. You
No. You are the one that assumed that the laughter meant rich.
And no, but why would you laugh at a brother like that?
No. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at what you
This is the thing
said.
that brothers are talking about. That the way by the time they come here, the way some sisters we treat them, it will be as if they're no rich.
But you survived it now. You had a lot of self-esteem.
I chested it.
Yeah, and brothers don't assume, because now you were saying you were thinking it meant that you don't measure up or something. But I mean, I was laughing. It could have been for any reason. I wasn't expecting to hear that. Or it could have been, this guy, you've not asked me out in person. You're not coming to ask me in public. What if you are the one that meets the criteria? How am I supposed to respond? Should I say, actually, Brother Kingsley, I think you do? No, definitely not. So I can easily use laughter to cover.
So were you using laughter to cover it?
Now,
because this is
a very long time ago. You can't be asking me that question now. Look at that.
No. Brothers, you can see what is going on. You can see. So don't give up.
Assume.
Don't assume. Don't give up because a lady laughed at you. Because the lady that laughed at you today
will laugh with you tomorrow.
That's why she's laughing with me now. Hallelujah.
Very funny.
I've been laughing for 17 years.
Oh my goodness. Really, I speaking of 17 years, sometimes when people are talking, you may be quick to want to say, this is what that say, it doesn't make any sense. But you know how Jesus will say, if not, believe me for the work's sake. Please believe us for the number of years' sake, right? Because I mean, there's something in the experience, and being able to do 17 years and still be able to laugh with each other, like you said, it's something. And we don't just stop at our experience. You see that on this platform, we also bring people who have been married for 21 years plus to come and just share their experience. So even we ourselves are still learning from people who have gone ahead and are doing great in their marriages.
And one of the things that I was very quick to take on some of the people that were dragging me 2 weeks ago. One of the things I did in taking them up in the comment section on that episode of I think that was In Love with a Stranger. I think that was
one of the
episodes. Something I did was because a lot of guys were saying those kind girls, the women of these days are not like that. Kinikon. But I said, they said, this marriage thing has completely changed. Oh, you are old school. And I said, excuse me, marriage did not start with this generation. You understand? Marriage is an institution that is as old as age itself. Do you understand? And it did not begin with us. But the principles of successful marriage are the same through time. Methodologies may change, but the principles of successful marriages are the same. If you use them, you can use them in Nigeria, use them in Kuwait, use them in Algeria, use them in the United States. Anywhere you apply the principles, they would work. And that's the thing that young men need to understand. So the things that we speak of, that we do in our relationship, and that we speak of on this platform, are principles that you can use. But if you want to go with the stereotype of, oh, this is how the girls of these days are, good luck to you. Because a lot of the guys, 90% of the guys that were dragging me are not married, but have been married for 17 years. What does that tell you? Experience, track record, results. Do you understand? So I don't need to be apologetic about it. But I can tell you that if you want 17 years from now to be able to say, oh, me too, I'm in a relationship with a woman that is able to journey with me, follow the principles. And I think you will land successfully.
Yeah, and I think that's something good to open up a little more, which is principles. A lot of times, these principles are encased in the stories that we tell, in the experiences that we share. And you may say, oh, that experience doesn't work today, but you should be able to open that shell, open that case, and pick out the principle, and then apply your own methodology, right? Come up with your own strategy using that principle, and you'll be able to get the results, because principles don't fail, right?
Yes.
You will get the results.
They are timeless.
If you apply the principles, right? It's just like saying, oh, gravity, I'm going to jump off the roof, right? As long as you expose yourself to gravity, you're going to go down, right? So if you could say, oh, I jumped down, I jumped and then I came down. Another person will say, well, I climbed to the top of a stair, well, and then I just walked off, but I still came down. Do you understand? Another person may say it was a coin. I let it out of my hand and it dropped. As long as the principle will work. So the methodology may be different, your approach, your strategy, your style may be different, but the principles will work.
Principles will work.
Yeah.
And that brought us to the episode of last week, which was talking about mentors, right voices, right choices.
Yeah. And would you like to just quickly go through the comments, because a couple have come in before we get into mentors?
Let's see the comments. Says, thank you so much, ma. He was going through the corners.
Exactly. Instead of just saying this thing straight, he's trying to attack me in public.
Chinedu says, gift lovers.
Gist
lovers, sorry.
Yeah.
Chinedu says, gist lovers. Jennifer says, she only laughed. She could be like, bro, are you giving me hints? ... I hear you loud. But have you met her laugh?
It's just like the day I came to your house now. One of those days, we just used to do group hangout. So one of those days we went to his house. And by the time we got to his house, his sister now came and was like, are you the Anietie? And in my mind, I'm like, what's going on here? This guy hasn't asked me anything, but why is his sister coming to ask me? Do you understand? But of course, I would just say, oh, yes, my name is Anietie, as if, oh, she was asking my name. But I knew there was more, right? But I couldn't jump to conclusions or get excited by anything because you hadn't said anything. So sometimes, yes, those things happen. Maybe the brother is taking his time to prepare the speech that he's going to use to ask you. Yeah. So yeah, there might be some of those experiences, but I mean, how do you handle it as a lady?
Yoma said, you see the you see the EUs, KJ and his comrades are having assumptions. KJ. They say you people are assuming too much. They're assuming, and that guy says when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. So guys, let's get off with the assumption. It's better we have clarity, right? Oh my goodness.
Let's even
You,
go there.
you put on this
Yeah.
clarity I said just now.
My friend, continue
Okay.
with the
You
comments.
don't want me to tell them?
Then you go to you
Should I tell
brought this
them?
thing up too many times. It's like this is going to be. I don't understand. How many times will you use one thing to shine? Guy.
If the thing is still shining, let it shine.
Oh yeah, now.
See, you people don't understand, guys. This one is for you. I'm on. See, today I had the opportunity again. Opportunity to correct my wife. And I see every time, guys. Every time you have the opportunity to correct a woman, take it, shine. Do you understand? Because they always make us look as if they are the ones that know everything, and we don't know anything. She was talking, and by the time she said. She said, because she's always correcting my English, even when I'm speaking pidgin. She doesn't know how to speak pidgin very well, but I'm speaking pidgin, she will still correct my English. I don't understand. Do you understand? So she now said clarify. Hey, I was in the mid sentence and my head went ging, 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 ging. No, it's not clarify. The correct thing is clarify. I had to stop what I was saying and correct her. We can't let that point go away for free like that. So, guys, if you've not learned anything, learn today. If you correct a woman, make a big deal.
Maybe you should keep a journal of all the corrections.
No, it may
So
be
that you
one,
can be reading it out
may
to
be
your
one-
people.
it may be one correction that you repeat several times, but I will think of it.
Okay. All right. So
All
Jennifer.
Yeah.
Jennifer says she only laughed. Okay, yes,
Yeah,
we got
I've
that.
read that.
And then Yoma says, you see this thing KJ
We-
said.
we've
Okay,
read-
yes.
we've
Okay,
read that.
so we've
We've
gotten
caught
through the
up.
comments. Yeah, so far.
Yeah. Okay.
So mentors.
We spoke about mentors and the right voices.
Yeah.
Any of the guys online, like I said before, if you're interested in calling in, there's a link in the comment section, and you can you can connect from that. You can connect from that link.
Yeah.
Right.
The right choices, the right voices was the last episode where we were just talking about mentors and the importance of having them and the different ways you can engage them, right? Mentors are really important. And you have mentors for different things. So some people have mentors in the office, and then some people have mentors concerning their finances, investments, and stuff like that. It's also important to have mentors when it comes to relationships, because really you haven't been to the end of your journey as far as relationships are concerned. And there are people who have gone ahead on that path that you are on. And you're like, okay, they've gone 5 years ahead, they've gone 10 years ahead, and so on. And hey, they're doing well. So let me learn from them. In fact, when it comes to learning from other people's experience, because they say experience is the best teacher, but I insist that it is not your experience alone that you're
should
supposed
be.
to learn from, because you can save yourself the trouble. Learn from other people's
I
experiences.
always like to say that you don't have to sink before you learn how to swim. Because if you experience sinking, you won't get the opportunity to swim.
Interesting.
So you can use other people's
Well, let's
experience.
say, like drown. You have to drown before you learn how to swim. Okay. All right. So
You see, but
No.
It's simple
I don't-
English.
calm
Should be you
down.
guys understood me
Because
when I
you
say you
can-
don't have to
you
sink.
can sing.
Now, she now says drown. You can see what I'm saying. It's just this. She was going to say something
Wait
else, so
now.
she left what she was saying, and she's correcting my. It's okay. It's okay.
So, but you get the gist that you have to find those people who have gone ahead, learn from them. You can learn from the people who are getting it right by, okay, what do you guys do right? What do you do well? Observe, learn from them. And then you can also learn from the people who didn't get it right. What did you people miss? What mistakes did you make? What were the pitfalls so that we avoid them? Do you understand? So, yes, learn from the experience of others and take advantage of the mentors you have in your life, especially those that are close enough for you to be able to sit down like this and say, see what I did.
Yeah.
It seems it backfired, or it didn't quite work out the way I hoped. What do you think I should do differently? Or this is what I'm planning. What do you think?
What do you think?
Do you understand?
And I like to say, which was one of the things we said in that episode. Like I said, the link is in the description. of this video for all the series in this episode, of all the episodes in this series. The link is there in the description. Something we said again is that you need to look out for the people that express the kind of relationship that you want to have, right? These are the people that we're calling mentors, and these are the people that we're saying you need to pay attention to their voices. I'm not talking about social media power couples, because some of those power couples, we are not close enough to see their reality. You just see what looks nice and say, see, does not sustain a relationship, right? It takes work, it takes grief, it takes determination, it takes deliberate steps. So you need to hear the voices of people that are walking these steps so that you can shadow them and plant your feet in the tracks that they leave on the sands of time. That's really good. Sometimes
I'm just looking at you. At least you're not standing up and walking away
no,
in celebration of what you said. Oh my goodness.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm comporting myself, but back to the subject, So I was we in talking about the right voices, we also mentioned that one of the things we say is that your spiritual leader, as graced and as anointed as he is, whether you're Christian or Muslim, your spiritual leader may not be the best guide on certain areas of your life. Case in point, the fact that he is your pastor or your imam does not mean he's the best person to give you financial advice. He may not be the best person to advise you on financial matters. Similarly, he may not be the best person to advise you on relationship matters, because that may not be his strength. He may just be getting by in his relationship. Does not mean he's the best person to give you advice. That's why we say you need to be close enough. You need to shadow the people that are expressing what you want to see, which means that you also have to get around people. You cannot say, I want to get it right, and you are isolating, all by yourself. I don't know if you listen. You can go to that episode and pay attention and watch it again, because we spoke a lot about this. Shadow couples, get close to couples, especially if all you want to do is casual flings and all of those. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about relationships that last.
Yeah, I can see a comment there from Yoma, and she's like, that's very true.
Yoma's comment. Can you put up Yoma's comment, please?
That's very true. I learn a lot from couples that I love because I love. It's easy for me to identify them and just be around them. I have learned so much already. Fantastic. And then Queen Debbie says mentors for different seasons.
Yes. So because like I said in that episode, I have mentors. I have mentors for finance. I have mentors for spirituality. I have mentors for relationship. I have mentors for
you mentioned fitness.
For fitness, for health. Do you understand? Yeah. So I have mentors for different people that I'm looking at and shadowing.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So I think one thing that really we have to settle on, as far as this whole in love with a stranger is concerned, is the fact that you have to know the core. Remember, that was one of the things we really addressed.
We talked about the core.
The fact that you have to know the core, because a lot of times people just pay attention to the surface things and you don't pay attention to the core. But the core is what you're going to live with for the foreseeable future, because a lot of times that's who the person is, and that doesn't change quickly. So someone who at the core has integrity will likely remain that way for the foreseeable future. But someone who is a crook at the core will also likely remain that way for the foreseeable future. So I'm just using that as an example. But the fact is, you need to get to know who is this person really at the core. So it's not what's their hairstyle. I can always change this, right? You can say, oh, she does braids. But if you label me as the lady who does braids and weaving, you may be very confused the day the period where I decide, you know what, I'm tired of braids. I just want to get home and take it off. So that means that for that period, I'm going to do wigs. So I'll come out with one wig today, another one tomorrow. So that means you're not going to be like, oh, this is not the person I married. If it is according to wigs or according to the superficial stuff that you're going to label someone, then there's going to be a big problem. So please take time to know the core of the person that you are dealing with, of the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. What is this person like? What is their faith? Who do they believe in? Who do they call on when they are in trouble? Do you understand? What is the guiding principle, for their lives? What do they live by? Whose ideas or whose word governs their life? Do they have authority figures in their lives? If yes, who are those people? Because if the person that they respect or the person that is an authority figure in their life is someone whose values completely do not align with yours, then you know that most likely when there are issues and the person goes for advice or counsel, what they will come back with will not sit well with you. So you have to know these people at the core. So please pay attention. The conversations should happen, but please don't spend all your valuable time talking about the weather, talking about food, talking about just superficial stuff and not addressing the core issues. You need to know what this person is about. You need to know what they want to achieve with their lives. You need to know what they will be happy to allow you do in your marriage. Because, sometimes people think, I'm an adult, I can do whatever I want. Yeah. But when you're married, you'll find out that your spouse has certain preferences. There are some things they will not want you to do. And if you go ahead to say, I'm an adult, I'll do what I want to do, it's going to bring about conflicts and chaos in your marriage. And do you really need that stress? So you make your life so much easier if you can just pay attention to these important things up front, right? I want to get it right in marriage. So I am going to pay attention to the details, to the important issues and get them sorted. I don't want to find out after the wedding that you are like this or that you are like that. I don't want to find out after the wedding that something I absolutely detest is part of your core. Oh, that means I rushed into that marriage. If you are finding things after the fact, after the wedding, if you are finding things that are so crucial that you're like, how did I miss this? It means you rushed. You got into that marriage too soon. You actually need to give yourself enough time to identify those crucial issues. Okay? And somebody will say, oh, what if I don't have enough time to find out everything? Every possible scenario can't possibly play out within the few months that we may have to interact before the wedding or before we get married. Well, you see, there are certain things that can be an indicator. So, for instance, if you are able to determine, right, that this person really, 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 truly, truly loves God, and this person really, really, really follows the precepts that are found in the Word of God. This person really lives their lives according to what the Bible says and so on. Then you can predict to some extent what their response will be for core issues, because you know that the guiding light for them will be the Word of God, right? But if the person is like not so steady about their work with God, sometimes they do what the Bible says, other times they're like, man, I beg, let's keep Bible aside, this matter, then that means you don't know enough. You can't even say for sure how they will respond, because they are like this today and like that tomorrow. So please just give yourself enough time, because marriage, I say, fools rushing, right? It's fools that rush into marriage, just rushing, because what you will find after after you rush in may shock you and may just make you rush out, and that's not what we want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I quite agree with you. You've spoken about it in depth. What I just would add is to bring a balance, right? While you are not rushing in, make sure you use the time wisely.
Yeah.
The time that you are spending not rushing in, make sure you are using it deliberately, you are using it wisely. And that time when we're saying, oh, take your time, we're not saying wait for 5 years. I don't know. Do you
Yeah.
understand? Somebody said that they've been dating, I've been dating her for 2 years. Is she a master's degree? Do you understand? Do you understand? So for 2 years, what are you guys doing for 2 years that you have been dating? It's a question that you also should ask yourself. I posed that question to a young man. He says he has been dating the lady for 2 years, but she's now putting pressure on him. I say, excuse me, uncle, what are you guys doing for 2 years that you are now saying at this point she's now putting pressure on you? That's it. If you answer that question, you will know whether she should put pressure on you to do the next level or whether you should walk away. What are you guys doing for 2 years? 2 years is a long time. It's 24 months. And it's if it's 24 months where you guys see each other once a month, then I don't know what kind of relationship you are having. But if it's 24 months where you are in contact every other day or every day, then what are you waiting for? Do you understand? So these are things to pay attention to. Evaluate your relationship like it is serious business. That's another thing they drag me on. They say relationship is not like business. I said that's interesting.
That's supposed to be pleasure.
That-
But the fact is, if you don't treat it as serious business, you won't even get the pleasure
exactly
out of it. Because if you don't do your due diligence up front, you will find yourself fighting, knocking heads, dragging issues, getting upset, walking out of the house, slamming the door, getting into a car, driving off, and then maybe you get involved in an accident. All kinds of things can come when you decide to treat relationships as not business. You treat it as, oh, it's pleasure, it's supposed to be fun. So anything that sounds like it's serious, I'm going to avoid it. When you're getting to the serious part of the conversation and you notice that it's becoming tense, you're like, oh, let's go, let's change topic.
Let's go out.
Yeah, let's change topic. Let's talk about something else that is fun to talk about. Meanwhile, you've not dealt with the serious issues, and whether you like it or not, those serious issues will creep up.
They will come.
Whether you like it or not, it will come. Even the things you said, oh, don't worry, your past is your past. I love you the way you are. It will come. The implication of that past will come. And if you did not discuss it and settle the fact that I am okay with this past, you now start saying you lied to me. The guy will say, but I always try to tell you. He said, no, you did not tell me. You lied to me. You kept the truth from me. You knew this and you kept it from me. You said, but I tried to. But you said you love me the way I am. If you knew it was this serious, you should have. It will come up whether you like it or not. It's not, of course, it's a guarantee.
It's a guarantee.
It will come up.
I like the way you said it's not a cause.
It's not a cause, it's a guarantee. Those things always come up. Something will lead to something which will lead to something. And then it will come up. Then it will now be okay. Then you start hearing people say, "Oh, I don't know what else you've lied about. In fact, I don't know how I can even trust you anymore. You know what? In fact, I'm done with this relationship. Oh, I'm leaving." So if you say, "Oh, I don't want to break up the relationship," that's why I'm not talking about these serious issues. The breakup will still likely happen in the future when those issues you did not talk about come up. So when do you want it to happen? Earlier, before you get married, when you can walk away in peace, or later after you get married when it is so complex and you live with scars that will affect you and possibly others if you have brought children into the union, and so much more, friends, loved ones, everybody that is connected to you, it's badly affected when marriages break down. So don't do that to yourself and your loved ones. Please pay attention to the details up front. Address all those key issues. Before you say I do,
because those guys, there were a number of them that took me up on Facebook and they were dragging me that this one Mumu, how can you say relationship is like business? It's nothing like that. Interestingly, a lot of them are not married. Do Do you understand? And so for me, I was able to look down on it because I knew that, hey, I have the experience, I have the practice, I have the knowledge. They don't.
Yeah.
But they're only speaking from the place where they are. So,
Yeah.
and the reason they are not treated, the reason they are still not married is because they are treating it like it's levity, like it's play, like it's a cruise.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. If you are looking for cruise, if you are looking for one night stand, if you are looking for just, having fun, then you are not ready for marriage. If all you want to do is have fun, you are not ready for marriage, because marriage is serious business.
Yeah.
You get.
Yeah.
But so
it's a lifetime business.
It's a lifetime business.
Yeah. So when you think about it, you want to hire, let's say, a driver, or you want to hire a cleaner, or you want to hire someone to work in your company. You actually sit down and write out what you need to fill that role. And then you write out what the requirements are that the person should have, what kind of qualification and so on. You go through all of that for somebody who probably work with you for 2 years if they try or more, and then wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm moving on, I got a better offer or something. But you knew that, but you paid attention, that much attention. Then now somebody
is going to live with
they're
you.
going to live with you
for the
rest of your life.
You say it's not business.
Who will have a say in your life and your destiny? Who sometimes may have to decide what will happen to you when you're not able to speak up for yourself. And who will have an input in your future generation, your children and so on. You now want to say, oh, how can you employ an accountant just because they are fine? You're not checking the person's history. You're not checking whether they add zeros and steal money from the company. You're not checking. You just, oh, this accountant looks very good. The perfume she wore was great. I just love her packaging. She's the one for the job. I had a good feeling when she was here for the interview. She's the one for the job. And you give and then you just run down your company. So why should you do that? Why do you want to do that to yourself, to your life? Because
you yourself, you are a company.
Yes. You're an institution.
You are an institution. So whoever, you see, and that's the part that people are not paying attention to. As a man, you are an institution, and the more you begin to, you can grow yourself to the point where you become a dispensation. Okay, that one is too deep. Let me take it. I will take it in another session, because they are telling me there are times. But my point is that every man is more than just himself. Every man is a growing concern. Yeah. Within every man are generations lined up in one seed. So if you are not going to consider the relationship that you are, the long-term, the sustainable relationship that you are going to enter into, that will determine the rest of all that you are able to build as business. I don't know what business is. Somebody even told me that the sole aim of business is profit. Relationship cannot be about profit.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
It's all about
profit.
Profit for humanity, profit for the society, profit for yourself, profit for your loved ones, profit for your children. It's profit everywhere. It's profit for God himself who created you. Because he wants you to live a productive life. And if you marry the wrong person, that can be hampered to a great extent.
Yes.
So
the ignorance on display was heavy. So at that point I just felt okay, it's true. Yeah. I felt I didn't feel bad when they were dragging me. I didn't feel bad that I was being dragged. What I felt was pity. I felt that people, maybe we needed to do a bit more to educate people about what it means to have long-lasting relationship. Yeah. Otherwise, they will just keep going about thinking it is Instagram love.
Yeah, we have a few comments about Pastor Herbert is on. Oh, welcome, sir. He says evaluate your relationships like serious business. Yes. Yeah. And then he says paying attention to details. Yes,
that's Queen Debbie. Yeah.
And Queen Debbie says heavy is the head that wears the crown. Yeah. And Yuma says, These are deep words. Yes, Yoma, you're absolutely right. These are deep words. People need to pay attention. Your life is important. So don't
Yes.
treat it like trash. If you can do due diligence, if you can do a security background check and stuff for people you are hiring to come and work for you for a few days, please, you need to do all the screening you can on people you're letting into your life for the rest of your life. Yes, you have to. So that brings us to a close on In Love with a
In Love with a
Stranger.
Stranger series, and because of this, because of the outfall of this, we are organizing a mentoring class. We already had one session with the ladies in our community, and we're going to have another one in April, strictly for guys. It's just going to be a no holds barred mentoring session, but it is in non-judgmental environment, and but it's for people within our community, right? And you're going to get the information. If you want to be a part of that, you can just after the show you can leave a comment. Someone in our team will be able to get to you and see how to bring you into our community first of all, and then we'll take it from there. But like we said earlier on the show, you have our handles, all of our handles.
Yes.
At Coach KGB. I'm at Coach KGB, and she's at
Anita
Anita Bature.
Yeah.
She's at Anita Bature on all the handles: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok,
Yeah.
all of that. So it's really important that we have these conversations and we put these conversations out there. Guys, ladies, marriage still works. Marriage still works. Doesn't matter what you're seeing on social media. It doesn't matter what is trending on social media, whether the divorce rate or whatever. Marriage still works, but only for those who are willing to work it. If you're not willing to work it, then like every other thing in life, it will fail.
Just like when you leave a place untended, before you know it, grass, whoosh, everything
will grow.
rats will move in, snakes will move in, all sorts. The place becomes completely run down because nobody was paying attention, nobody was working it. So please work on your relationships, treat them as serious business, do your due diligence, choose well, say yes to the right person to avoid surprises, and then when you get into your marriage, keep working at it to keep it going and to make it healthy and to make it thrive and to create that beautiful environment for the children that will come in through that union. So that's a wrap on In Love with a Stranger. See you in April.
Yeah.
When we come with a new series.
When we come with a new series. Just watch out for it on all our social media handles. And
remember, like we always say, common sense
is not so common.
Bye.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.